Hey cruisers, welcome to our weekly vlog. We're so happy to have all of you here. This episode today is sponsored by cruiseline.com, the only website with verified reviews by real everyday cruisers to help you find the perfect cruise. Thank you all so much for all of the amazing 5-star reviews over on Facebook. You guys made us feel so good this week. We added that tab to our, to our Facebook page, and you guys just overwhelmingly wrote the nicest things about Cruise Tips TV over there, and we want to thank each and every one of you that took the time to do that. I think 16 people in 1 week did that, and we are very moved. So thank you so much. We really appreciate our little cruising community here. We also wanted to thank everyone so much for the response to the vlog that we did last week where we talked a lot about cruising and introverts. You all left some of the most amazing comments in the comments of that vlog talking about as introverts in your party or, personal experience as an introvert, things that make your cruise better. And it's just so helpful and wonderful for all of these folks out there that may want a little bit more solitude and a little bit more help on a cruise. So thank you all very much for that. We also were really stoked that some of our subscribers left some product comments on our norovirus episode. Do you remember the norovirus episode where we talked about the fact that you really need to clean down the surfaces in your stateroom and you've got to wash your hands and all that good stuff? Well, it turns out that not all the products on the market that we think of, like maybe just the everyday hand sanitizing wipes that are available or hand sanitizers actually kill norovirus. So many of our subscribers left some product tips in the notes below. If you're looking for a product like that, go check out that video and look in the comments and you will see lots and lots of really good information. I am going to be buying some surface wipes that kill norovirus on my next cruise because after doing that episode, I'm completely grossed out and I feel like I have to sanitize my cabin even more. So anyway, thank you all so much. Your participation is always appreciated. I feel like that's the theme for this week's vlog is appreciation for you guys, and I just want to say thank you. We also would love to hear any tips that you have on budgeting for a cruise. We're going to be doing an episode on budgeting at some point here, so let us know how you budget for your cruise, maybe some money-saving tips, anything you'd like, and we'll try to include your tips in the episode. Also wanted to make sure that everybody noticed on our last vlog that we made a correction in the comments about being able to take a drone on a cruise. We know you can take a drone on Carnival, but you cannot fly it on the ship. You might be able to take it on and off the ship at port. We're not making any promises about every cruise line on this, but we did make a correction there and wanted to let you know you can probably take your drone on Carnival, but do not try to fly it on the ship or you're probably gonna have some major security issues. So hope that that helps. We heard from one of our subscribers, Wendy Smith, some really cool news for those of you who live and cruise out of Australia. And that is kind of not really cruise related, but still exciting because we are big Amazon fans. And Wendy tells us that Amazon just announced it is opening in Australia in September of this year. And we are so excited, you guys. I have no idea if that means we can do giveaways in Australia. Please don't hold me to it, but if it does, we will be so very excited. And Wendy, thank you so much for the tip. I did a little research on this, and it looks like Amazon's looking for a warehouse to become a fulfillment center, which will be the first of many in Australia. They are looking for floor space of 93,000 meters, so if you know of anything, let them know. It looks like they aren't sure on the location yet, but they're looking at Brisbane, Sydney, or Melbourne. So awesome tip, Wendy, and for all of our Australian followers, please keep us posted as you learn a little bit more about that awesome, exciting news. We have another really cool subscriber tip that we want to share with you guys this week, and it is from Allison, who is one of my cruising friends on Instagram. And Allison has this amazing tip of how to make a privacy curtain in your stateroom. Allison has a teenage daughter and was going to be sharing a cabin with her daughter and her husband, and she wanted to create an area where her daughter could actually get dressed in the stateroom. So what she did is she bought a shower curtain, kind of the fabric type, not so much the plastic type. As you guys know, they have holes in them, right? They have holes where you would put the shower curtain rings. Well, she took those trusty magnets that we always recommend with the hooks on them, right? She put one on each wall of the stateroom between the bathroom area. Try to picture this. Between the bathroom area and the sleeping area, she put the magnetic hooks up, and then when necessary, she hung the shower curtain between the hooks. They also made it a privacy curtain between their beds. So I believe in her stateroom, she had a sofa sleeper by the balcony and a regular bed. So what they did is they put the screen, their shower curtain screen, up between the sofa bed and the regular bed, and it's really cool. So hopefully my husband's going to be able to show you some photos of it, or he already has. We're going to be getting those photos from Allison and sharing them with you so that you can try this. And she did use the super strong magnets that are available on our marketplace, so be sure to check that out. So thank you, Allison, for that awesome tip. I know that a lot of people will really appreciate it. I think that's just a wonderful practical thing to do. All right, let's get into some questions and answers. Our first question comes from VA Bass Fishing, wanting to know, how do you ensure that you have a table just for your family? Is it possible for me and my wife to have a table for two in the main dining room? So VA Bass Fishing, the first step is that when you make your cruise reservation, when you reserve it, you probably are going to be asked what type of a table you would like, what time you're going to dine. Select the smallest possible table there. Probably will offer you 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10 tabletop. There's no guarantee that that's going to do it for you though, so there's one extra step that you need to take. When you get, sorry guys, I have something in my way on the set here. When you get on that ship, what you need to do the first day, right when you board, go to your room and look at your newsletter. No matter what cruise line you're on, we find that this works pretty much across the board. On day one, embarkation day, your maitre d' will probably hold business hours in the dining room where you can go. Usually we find it's somewhere between 12:30 and 2 o'clock, and you can go speak with a head waiter or maitre d' about getting the table that you want. And that will be the time to say, hey, look, I'd really like to see if we can arrange to have a private table. Usually what they'll tell you is, we'll do our best, and we'll send a note to your stateroom to let you know if we were successful. I want to prepare you for the fact that a lot of times on night one, it's not possible, but by night two, they can make your request happen. So I hope that helps you. Please let us know how it works. We, just so you know, have never had an issue with that, and we do it on every single cruise, and it has been granted to us on, I want to say, 4 different cruise lines. So good luck to you. Let us know how it goes. Paul Bjorlin wants to share a little something about glacier viewing. This is actually a tip. I meant to tell you guys about this tip in the beginning of the vlog, but I put it in the wrong place on my paperwork here. So I'm going to share an Alaska glacier viewing tip with you from Paul. He said that if you ever do go see a glacier in Alaska, you want to see the glacier calve or break off, right? And most people go by sound, meaning that you listen for the calving sound before you look. He said that's the wrong way to do it because the sound travels for miles. What you want to do is watch the water line. And when you see small splashes hit the water, the glacier is breaking directly above that. And this is the place to watch, because if there's going to be calving, this is the spot it will happen. This has never failed, Paul. And he has lots of pictures and videos to prove it. So I think that's an awesome Alaska tip. Back to our questions and answers. Samantha Bowen said she's going on Oasis of the Seas in 2018, wants to know if it's better to book a reservation for dinner at a specialty restaurant on a sea day or a port day. Which one is more likely to be better than others? Samantha, that's a difficult question, but there are benefits to both. If you book it on a sea day, you're going to have more time to get ready. You're going to be able to feel a little bit less rushed because you won't have been rushing back onto the ship from port. However, it will be more crowded. If you do choose to book a specialty restaurant, and this is just a general idea, this isn't really a rule, the first night is an awesome night to do it, and some cruise lines even hold specials. They give you free wine, they give you discounts, things like that. But port days are going to be less crowded and probably easier to get reservations. I hope that helps you. Pam Dre has a fashion question for me. She said, where do you get your adorable dresses that you take on the cruise? Thank you, Pam. I'm very flattered that you like my clothing. I do get questions on occasion about my clothing, and so I thought today might be a nice time to talk a little bit about where I buy my clothes and what challenges I face, because for those of you who don't know, because you rarely ever see me standing up and walking around, I am 5 feet 0 inches tall. I am extremely short, so I pretty much have to shop for petite clothes almost exclusively. Now I can get away with some regular clothes. So most of the places that I shop would be Macy's, sometimes in the petite section. They do have some great things, although I don't want something too mature for my style, so that can be really hit and miss. I actually have a subscription to Stitch Fix. Some of you may know about that monthly subscription. I don't do it every month because it's too expensive, but every few months I do get a stylist to send me some clothes, and I pay a $20 to $25 styling fee for those clothes, and I really appreciate them. And sometimes I keep all 5 items, sometimes I keep just one. It really depends, but that is wonderful, and they know my size. They have petite clothing. They know that I'm short, so they send me jeans that work for me, and it works really, really well. I also tend to shop at Old Navy for cruises a lot because their stuff is kind of grab and go. You know, it's hard for me to find things that fit there. But they do have petites online now. So I have really good luck with their petite dresses. I love Express. I shop at Express in the mall all the time for dresses. Some of my my favorite dresses that I wear on cruises are from Express, and they're very reasonable, and I always get the coupons in the mail. And wait, for my swimsuits, this is not dresses, I know, but this is really, I think this is actually kind of a great tip, you guys. I buy almost all of my swimsuits at Target, but there is only one brand I will wear, and that is Mossimo. The Mossimo brand is very high quality, and it fits women's figures. I do not have a kids or teenagers figure anymore. I have curves, and I need something that knows that I have curves. So that is where I get all of my swimsuits. I also love Nordstrom and Nordstrom Rack a lot, but they tend to be a little more expensive. But whenever I go visit my mom, we always try to make a little trip to Nordstrom Rack and see what we can find. So I hope that that helps you. Thank you so much for the flattering question. Next question is from Christine Boone. Any general tips from leaving from colder ports ending south, especially if there's no indoor pool? So like, for example, I think that Christine is going to the Caribbean leaving from New York City. So we're talking really cold here, folks. What I would recommend that you do is research the daily newsletters before you cruise. Go to cruiseline.com and see if you can find someone who has uploaded all of the newsletters for the day. Find your activities in advance so that you're not missing the pool. There should be things to do indoors, exercise classes, art auctions, maybe try some specialty restaurants on those sea days when it's cold, and maybe even go to afternoon tea. That's what I would do. Next question is from Seliana Sniski. Has a question about going to see the Northern Lights. Is there a particular cruise that we can take as a family where we can see the Northern Lights? I assume she means in Alaska. And they're also having a hard time finding an affordable cruise to, I assume, Alaska, although it doesn't say that, for their family of 5, as most cabins only accommodate 4 people. All right, you're not likely to see the Northern Lights that I am aware of, Seliana, on an Alaska cruise. We have heard of some people seeing them, mostly in September, but it is rare. I would recommend that you plan a land trip to go see the Aurora Borealis if that's something you really want to do. I wouldn't guarantee on a cruise that that's going to happen for you. For your budget idea, here's what I would do. If you're trying to save money, book 2 cabins for your party of 4 or 5. Maybe inside cabins will be more affordable for you than balcony cabins. Look for off-season deals. So you want to go to Alaska in May or September to save money. All right, so we need to help Holly Butcher. Holly is going to Alaska in September. So many Alaska questions, you guys, lately. This is so much fun. Really loving it. Holly is cruising alone and is on crutches. She wants to know if we could consider doing something to help people in this situation to make the most out of the ship. So if you have any tips for Holly being on crutches and cruising alone to Alaska this summer, please let her know in the comments below. Holly, I have a few tips for you. I think that you want to make sure that you plan lots of extra time when you're using the elevators because they can tend to get crowded. I would also recommend that if you haven't already chosen your stateroom, you book it very, very carefully. Put that stateroom next to the areas you're going to go the most. Are you going to be going to the pool and the buffet the most? Get up high on that Lido deck. Get your stateroom up near that area. Do you want to be down by the atrium and closer to those main dining restaurants? If that is the case, get your stateroom booked close to those. So hopefully some people will leave more tips in the comments below for us soon, and we can help you out with that. Now, DMS is going to Ocho Rios, Grand Cayman, and Cozumel on Carnival Vista in July. They're wondering what are the best kid-friendly, 5-year-old guys, shore excursions in Ocho Rios and Grand Cayman. So if anybody has any tips for DMS, please leave them in the comments below. I think in Grand Cayman, if it were me, I'd go to 7 Mile Beach and just enjoy the day there. Find a place with shade so your little one doesn't suffer from the sun. You guys, that is all the questions and tips that we have for you today. We are so excited to let all of you know that we are planning a cruise soon. It's going to be a surprise. You'll all of a sudden just see us start vlogging from our cruise. We want to keep it that way. So let us know where you are going on your next cruise in the comments below. We'd love to hear a little bit more about it, and we will keep you posted on our next live stream as well. We've been really busy lately. We do not know exactly when we're going to be getting that live stream out, but it may be a pop-up or surprise live stream that we announced just the day before. Thank you all so very much for watching, and thank you so much to cruiseline.com for supporting Cruise Tips TV. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Cruise around the week.
Hey, click me to subscribe.